So we used to go to the synagogue. I went to the church and I prayed. And every time before meals we used to say, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, for thy kingdom come. We used to say this and then we say, well, for what we are about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful for Christ's sake. You know that? How do you know that? You sing the same grace as us?
We used to say it.
You belong to my religion.
We used to say it at boarding school.
Oh, boarding school. Which boarding school is this?
In Switzerland.
Oh, mine in Switzerland, and I was in India, in Nainital, and they said the same grace. Good, uniformity, which we are trying to get. So we used to say this grace and we became very holy and pious. But the moment I was very holy in my thoughts. Indeed, I was something else, because every time at the end of the session, we used to invite the girls' school to come, and we had to show our best manners. Now, opposite me was a greedy girl, so we had to offer the plates of cakes to them. So what I did is I put my thumb on the cake I liked and offered. Now that girl, she was very strong. She put her hand in that cake and she was struggling with that for me, and there was a lot of hard feelings. And then ultimately she took half and I took half. So the next year the girls came, we were invited them for this thing. For what we are about to receive. Immediately as I said that, I saw they're all us good Christians. We had our eyes closed, and in thought I was very pure, but indeed I was what I was. So for what we are about to receive, I stretched out, took the meringue. I like the meringue. Put it on. May the Lord make us truly thankful for Christ. So in thought we are something, indeed we are something. It's very, very important. Once a Christian missionary visited India to convert the pagan Indians into Christianity. He was bringing something new. So this was Christian religion, 2000 years old. Indian religion traces 20,000 years ago. Anyway, he will come to teach something. The desire to teach. Like a small child teaches his father, no daddy, it's not like this, it's like this. I'll show you. Put on your specs. My grandson tells me, if you can't read, put on your specs. So the Christian missionary was like this. And he was walking through the jungles. He was a holy man. And along from the other side came a lion. So the Christian missionary looked at the lion and said, oh, love won't do. Because Jesus taught love. So do we all. But here, he doubted that love would work. And so his mind was racing to find some other technique or thing which he could do, to get away from the lion. He said, if I run in 2 leaps and bounds, he's going to catch me and finish me off. Then he got an idea. He said, I got an idea. Stare at the lion. So the lion came closer and the priest went closer. And he kept his eyes fixed, and the lion came along and the priest went along. And the priest's footsteps were dragging to a still. But he appeared to be a courageous man, and then they came face to face, and the priest stared at the lion, and the lion stared at the priest. Now this was no ordinary lion. He was a holy lion. And he said his prayers and all his things, and of course in India you can expect such a thing. So, and he stared at the priest, and the priest stared. And then the impossible happened. The impossible happened. There came a deep rumble. Om, Om. And the lion put his hands up like this. And the priest said, what is he doing? The priest thought to himself, the lion is praying. Of course he was praying. He was a holy lion. and all his thoughts were full of prayer. He was a holy lion. His thoughts. Priest also said, I'll do this. So the lion said, hey, what are you doing? So he said, I'm praying. He said, what are you doing? The lion said, I'm saying grace. Because he was a holy lion. I'm talking about you. You are the holy lion. You are the holy lion because we go to church. We are holy. We are holy lions. But indeed, in thought he was a holy lion. But indeed, he was a lion. He ate up the priest. No matter how holy we are in thought, when the time comes, whether it be sex, whether it be greed for money, and whether it be things, our subconscious drive is so powerful that you'll be whoom, like a wave from behind, you'll be taken up in that sex act and you won't know what you've done. And then afterwards you'll regret it. It happens so many times over here. Many women in America, they involve themselves like this, then they try to frame the person to make a mop-up operation and say that this guy has molested me. So this is the drive which takes them unaware. It comes like a wave from behind and whoosh, and you're gone, in spite of your prayers and things. So, what the alchemy of Total Transformation does is not only in thought, but in deed, by heavy, dynamic breathing, it uproots the animal drive from you and transforms you indeed to what you are. This is the basic difference between mental prayer and things of hymns, which are also good, because firstly you have to be holy in the mind, and then for it to seep into your deeds, you have to go much deeper. How many agree with me on this fact? How many agree with me on this fact? That no matter how much of prayers you say, or I chant a mantra or some Aditya Hridayam Punyam, unless I do it with the breath, it won't seep into my very sum and substance, my being. So I'm transforming myself. You don't only need to pray, you need a dynamic prayer. And the dynamic prayer is by laying your life on the line. Means breathing through the spine. Kriya Yoga transforms you totally. Have I been able to make, I made this distinction because I'm trying to give you the message that what you've done is good. What you've done is good. It's time to move on. What you've done is good. It's time to move on. And if I am saying that humanity is tied by the self-same cord of love through breath, then I must be able to breathe through your breath. I. Otherwise, my saying is an empty bubble. Right? It is not. It is not. But even if I don't give the experience, breath is still the only prayer. So today, we are not only going to be holy in our mantras and chanting and our thoughts, we would like to be holy indeed. And because we want to be holy indeed, we are doing the Shakti, the Siddhanath Healing and Kundalini Transmission Enlightenment. And you will come one by one and get yourself ready for the initiation. Actually, in the touch is the initiation. The rest is all secondary stuff. The teaching is all secondary stuff. The touch of the master, according to the yogic tradition, there are many schools of yoga, many different where they don't initiate. They just keep teaching and one person teaches the other. That has no value. The seeds will not sprout. I'm sure you've come to me here to listen to the truth and not to get your ego embalmed. Although I give you the balsam of the sun to protect you against my harsh words. But I have no ego balm, I promise you. I have no ego balm. So only the tough ones will stay. The flighty ones can fly away. Less work for me. Because I carry all your load and then you expect me to take off as the Hamsa swan with so many guys on my back. Lord, give me less. So, In witness of the fire and the water, I shall initiate you into the sacred science of Shakti, which is in the West called Shi, the Siddhanath healing and enlightenment techniques. And you will come one by one as I give you the touch, the third eye.